Hi everybody, I'm Michael. Today we're going to be talking about the Hoya Splash. This beauty here, Hoya PubicalyX Splash, makes a wonderful houseplant. So, are you all ready to dig in? Let's grow! The Hoya Splash will definitely make a splash in your home. She's so pretty. She goes by the botanical name Hoya PubicalyX Splash, and I just love her. What I'm going to do now is set her down over here because she's quite heavy. We've been growing her about 3 years, over 3 years now, and I'm going to set her down over here so we can get you up close and we can talk more about the plant itself and how to take care of her. Let's talk about this Hoya's characteristics. She's a trailing or climbing epiphytic vine. Really pretty. I love her. She's got these beautiful speckles here, or splashes of light gray on these lanceolate-like leaves. The leaves are very thick and waxy, and it's just a beauty, just a pretty houseplant. Really enjoy her. Again, we've had ours for about three and a half years, at least three years. And ours has only flowered once, but we do have some peduncles that keep coming up. She's just taking her time, and that's okay. But this has a beautiful reddish pink flower. It's so pretty. Charms you when she decides to give you a flower. We have placed ours in 2 locations over in our home. I typically don't like to move houseplants after we get them in an area, but we found our Hoyas are pretty adaptable in moving around, and I sometimes try to bring her to an area where she gets a little more light, and we'll go into plant care in a minute, because if you give her a little more light, there's a chance that your Hoya will start to flower for you. And when we had ours close to a kitchen window facing north, that's when she flowered for us. But just love this plant. It's really cool. She can climb up or trail over, so she makes great for a hanging basket if you want to put her in a hanging basket. Just a joy to have in your home. One thing is, she is not fast growing. The Curtisii, we have found that our Hoya over here, and as you know, we just love Hoyas. We have this one here, and the Curtisii here, which we've done a video on. This one here, just love her. She's much faster growing than the Splash Hoya. So that's fine too, because houseplants don't have, it's just a unique feature about each plant. I love that some plants grow faster and some don't, but this one here is just gonna be a nice medium-sized plant for your home, and you're gonna have her for years. These are long-lived plants, and they do very well in a home. So now that we've talked about the basics of her, let's go into plant care, and we can talk about how you can care for one of these in your home. All right, let's go into that step. On plant care, let's first talk about lighting. Your Splash Hoya will want high light, and that's going to be between 800 and 1,000 foot candles. But this Hoya is quite adaptable. She can go lower. She can go down into the 400s or 500s and still put on growth for you. So it's a really adaptable plant in that way. You can put her in a north-facing window or even a south-facing window. You just don't want to give her direct light, because that can scorch the leaves. Even though they're waxy, they can discolor from getting direct sunlight. So we like to rotate ours every 3 months or so, because she can get a little lopsided. And that's actually a good tip just to do in a lot of your plants in your home, is to rotate them, because it gives a more well-balanced look. Now on soil, we like a really well-drained mix. This plant wants to have well-drained soil. So we recommend a soil mix in this ratio: 4 parts of African violet soil mix, or you can use cactus mix. Mix that with 2 parts orchid mix, 1 part perlite, and 1 part worm castings. Mix those together, and you're going to form this really cool, well-drained mix that the plant's just going to love. Now, on the soil mix, we also like to include a mycorrhizal, which helps the plant uptake nutrients better, and it provides these beneficial bacteria and fungi in the soil structure. And we like to put in a teaspoon of that when we mix it in it, or you can add it to the top of the plant and let it just soak down when you water the plant. And we like to do that. We sometimes also put in charcoal. Sometimes we don't put in charcoal. You can add a little bit of charcoal here. It doesn't hurt, just a dash of charcoal to add it to any mix. But it's not necessary for her to grow well for you. On watering, Now, Hoyas like to dry out a little bit, so you don't want to water very often. We recommend between 9 and 11 days. If you water less than that, you can cause a problem with root rot, and we don't want that. Root rot is very hard for a plant to come back from. It's probably one of the biggest things that people tend to do with their houseplants is they overwater them and they kill them that way. And that's killing them with kindness. So every 9 to 11 days, but always test. Take your finger and go into the soil, and at the 9th day when you're in there and you're testing it, and if it still feels damp, about an inch or two down in the soil, wait, don't put in any water for a couple more days, and then test again. And that's a sure way to see that your plant is drying out and it's ready for some more watering. You can also use a bamboo skewer and dig that down into there if you don't want to get your finger all dirty, but that's very important, is to test and make sure that you don't overwater your plant. Now on fertilizer, you could use a standard 20-20-20, add it to your watering in April through September, but we also like to add in a bloom booster. You can add that too to help your plant try to push out from the peduncles some more flowers if you have her in a nice, perfect location where she's getting enough light and humidity. And you want to add that bloom booster in July and August, around those 2 months. So now we've talked about that. Let's talk about humidity, and let's talk about temperature. She'll do fine with humidity in a home AC. She wants it higher though. She wants to be north of 40%. Homes with AC are going to have around 40% humidity, but she does fine with that, and our home is 40%, more or less, up or down. But if you can put her in a bathroom once in a while to get some humidity, that would be really cool. Just don't leave her in there unless it gets a lot of light, and that's where you want to keep her. But humidity, she wants a little bit north of 40 if you can, but she does fine with regular home AC. So there's no real issues there. Now the last thing I want to talk about is pests. Hoyas tend to get mealybugs. This baby has not had one time, and she's been next to a lot of our tricolors, and the tricolors for us, not constantly, for a while, we're getting hammered by mealybugs. So on your Hoyas, you definitely want to check out for mealybugs. They're going to be catching in. You'll see them here. You'll see them in nodes and the undersides of the leaves. That's where the mealybugs will start to form. And you can see them. They're white. They'll start out very small, but in here you got to be careful because this has got this speckling, so it could kind of fool you. You may think there's no mealybug there, and then you may have a big infestation. So sometimes you need to look under your leaves here. You got to go under and look look at the nodes and where the leaves attach to the stem, because that's where mealybugs will sometimes tend to attach themselves or propagate. And to address a small infestation, you can just add alcohol with a Q-tip and that'll kill them, or you can use a neem oil or insecticidal soap to take care of the mealybugs. And now that we've done all of that, what we're going to do is rotate over into written care instructions so you can get everything that I just talked about all summarized, and you can take a screenshot if you'd like, and then we'll come back and do a quick closing at the end. Okay, let's go on to that step. We're so happy that you stopped by to watch the video. Thanks so much for joining us. If you have any questions about how to grow your own splash Hoya, just leave a comment below and I'll make sure I get back to you. And until the next video, oh, before I forget, we're going to be doing a video on the variegated, this beautiful Hoya, so stay tuned because we're going to be doing a video shortly on this other wonderful, wonderful Hoya. It's slow growing, but it's a really cool houseplant. All right, until the next video, bye. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And tell your friends and family. We post videos weekly. Thanks.